So we just got more information about the upcoming GTA 4 remaster port coming from Tez Funds 2, and he basically gave us some details about how that this remaster is going to be, and he teased a little bit, and it looks like that this is going to be what I was expecting for GTA 4. It's just simply going to just be a simple port that has all the same graphics and like the same assets that the original game had. So pretty much this is just going to be what Double 11 did with RDR1 for the PlayStation 4 and PC, as well as the Nintendo Switch back in 2023. And this is what I was expecting, although Tez Funds 2 does not specify of what developer is behind it, whether if it's Double 11 or Grove Street Games, but Grove Street Games is no longer with Rockstar no more from what we know. But I do think that it is Double 11, and he has specified that this remaster port has been in development since early last year. So what I think is going to happen is GTA 4 is going to be releasing either sometime this summer or possibly sometime close to the holiday season. And it's just like I stated, it's going to be a simple remaster port like Red Dead Redemption 1 was. It's just going to have the same graphics, same assets, with maybe some cleaner textures and like possibly draw distances, and it's just going to play the game at 4K resolution, as well as probably having a lot better in performance than what it originally had, even on like the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Like GTA 4 absolutely did not have the best in performance on those old consoles, and still to this day, the PC version, however, does not run or play all that smooth whatsoever. So hopefully the game is going to play smoother. Now, he also specified he does not know which platforms that it's going to be, because if you look back at RDR1 from 2023, that game was only targeting PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. It did not get a 4K at 120 FPS or anything like that on like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. They just simply made RDR1 a simple remaster port for PlayStation 4 as well as Nintendo Switch. Now, I honestly do think, even when I tried RDR1 on the Nintendo Switch, it, however, did look crisper playing at 1080p in dock mode than it did on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and even backwards compatible from the Xbox One. The Nintendo Switch, however, did look a good bit sharper playing at 1080p of that game. But the PlayStation 4 absolutely did look cleaner, and if you had a PlayStation 4 Pro as well as a PlayStation 5, well, Red Dead Redemption 1 actually plays in 4K, and they actually made an update just a couple months later after the game was released that if you were playing Red Dead Redemption 1 on a PlayStation 5, well, there was an uncapped frame rate to be able to play the game at 4K at 60 frames a second. And honestly, even though it was just simply backwards compatible from the PlayStation 4, catalog, everybody was absolutely excited. I honestly was. I was like, dude, this is absolutely insane. Being able to play this masterpiece of a game at the cleanest quality and having a smooth 60 frames a second, it was a awesome freaking, it was just amazing. And even though it was still the original graphics, I personally still thought that RDR1's graphics, and I still honestly do to this day in 2025, is still one of the most impressive graphical looking games still to this day, going on 15 years later since RDR1 did release back in the Xbox 360 PS3. So as coming from Tez Funds 2, he says it's not a remaster, so it's most likely going to be just a simple remaster port that is just going to keep the same assets, the same most graphics, but probably going to give you the option to play at 4K 60 frames a second, or possibly giving you the option to play at 1080p, maybe even 120 frames a second. Now, that is actually going to be insanely very awesome. A lot of GTA 4 fans would love to play the game at 120 FPS, and I honestly think that the Xbox Series X, as well as the PlayStation 5, are absolutely powerful enough to play the original graphics at a 2 quality and performance options while letting you play at 4K 60 frames a second, or playing at full HD 1080p at 120 frames a second. I absolutely think that the consoles are powerful enough to run GTA 4 with its original assets at 120 FPS at 1080p full HD. The consoles are absolutely powerful enough. I mean, this is GTA 5 that we're playing on the PS5 on this video, and this game is a lot more prettier and more realistic, and this can actually play at 1440p at 60 frames a second. So I do think that GTA 4 with its original graphics can actually run at a 1080p 120 frames a second. And honestly, we would just have to wait and see if that's possible. But as coming from Tez Funds 2, it looks to be like it is going to just be a full-on simple port of the game. So it's just going to be the original game, and he did not mention as to what platforms that it's coming from. Now, there's a report saying that it's going to be coming to the PS5, Xbox Series X, and possibly even the Nintendo Switch 2, and I think it is going to be coming for the Nintendo Switch 2, but it could also be the same ballpark as what Red Dead Redemption 1 was. It may just come to the PlayStation 4 only, as well as the Nintendo Switch 2, and probably be, you know, if you play the game backward compatible from the PS4 catalog on your PS5 or PS5 Pro, there's probably going to be some enhancements while playing that game through backwards compatibility. But we don't absolutely know as of yet. But as it clearly stands, Tez Funds 2 has actually mentioned that it is honestly not a full-on remaster, that it, more or less it's just going to be a simple port, just like what Double 11 did with Red Dead Redemption 1 back in 2023. And even then, if they do that, I honestly do think that we do have a possibility of better performance, that the game can actually run, play smoother. Like I said, I think that the game can run at a 4K 60 frames a second on the PlayStation 5 and Series X, and giving you the option to play on performance mode while being able to play at 120 FPS. But without further ado, we'll just have to wait and see of when this game is coming out, and if it is going to be a full-on remaster or if it's just a simple port. Tez Funds 2 didn't say that it wasn't going to be a full-on remaster. He just says that he thinks that it is not going to be a full-on remaster, but more or less it's just going to be like a simple remaster port like Red Dead 1 was from, I was about to say Grove Street Games, but just like what Red Dead 1 was from Double 11. And I honestly think that Double 11 is the developer that is going to be behind this project right now of Grand Theft Auto 4. But only time will tell for the next few months until we get closer to the game's release. But it actually seems like that this is 100% the case. There is going to be a GTA 4 modernized version of just like a simple port that is going to be coming to the modern consoles, even if it is coming to the only current gen consoles, or if it's going to be the same concept as RDR1 was with just PlayStation 4 and getting some enhancements, playing backward compatibility through the PlayStation 5. But that's going to pretty much do it for this video for you guys. So hope you enjoyed this content. If you could, smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, let us know in the comment section down below if you are very excited to revisit the classic amazing Grand Theft Auto 4 on a current generation modern console, whether it be the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5 or even the Nintendo Switch 2, because I honestly can guarantee you that it will be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 if it is coming out this fall. So that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the video. So rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.